Irene, Wallfleet Avenue. Am I to understand this amendment that we're discussing here is the one where we're gotten the money from Hearts and what we're going to do with the $1.5 million?
Yeah, no, it's the 500,000, whether we earmark it for a special purpose or we don't.
Okay. Well, obviously there hasn't been a decision, but my thinking on that is that it should return to the taxpayers. Without a doubt, hands down. You just mentioned what a horrible year this has been, and in all the financial areas, and the people in Edison are suffering. Look around, drive around, and you'll see how many homes are up for sale. We don't know how many of them are foreclosures, God forbid, and Charlie Tamaro's sitting behind me and can tell you, and even my church, how many people have come getting food. So let's not think about anything other than let's give it back to the people who put it here in the first place. And I don't know if there was anything else. It was just on the 500,000?
Yeah.
You've heard my voice. Thank you.
Thank
and
you.
I speak for a lot of people. Just because they're not all here doesn't mean that I don't speak for a lot of people. I was told many years ago by an attorney in these chambers that one voice is worth 100 votes. I'll tell you right now, I think it's more than 100 votes. So if I'm the only one speaking on this, you know there are others. And I can attest to my neighborhood. They're not all here, but they say, you go, Irene. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Well, one point I want to make was, because I believe, Irene, this doesn't have anything to do with you. Okay. I believe I read in one of the newspapers that we adopted this amendment, or it gave the impression that we adopted this amendment. That is unfair. This was just introduced. That's all it was. It was introduced for a public hearing. We're not going to deal with it tonight. But again, I made the point earlier tonight. When we introduce something, we don't adopt it, and it shouldn't be written up the next day as an adoption. Let's keep our comments directly on the amendment. Mr. Peasy?
Council President,
I'm sorry, Mr. Peasy.
one question. What we're supposed to be talking about is the amendment from the Department of Government Services, not the 500,000.
Okay, my bad.
Isn't that correct? CFO?
No, we actually completed the technical amendment that was required by the division. That didn't actually require publication.
Okay.
So you already took action on that?
So it is the 500?
Yes,
okay.
that's correct.
I stand corrected then.
Oh, you had me going. Council Vice President.
As my time is
Mr.
ticking away. South Easy, 35 Trenton Avenue. I'll be very brief. I like the idea that you're going from 1 million to 1,500,000 in the revenue side. What I'm urging you to do is keep it in the revenue side. And there was a section down below where you want to apply it to open space. I think the county provides grant money, and if we get Charlie Tamaro representing us in the county, then we'll have more of a chance to get more grant money for Edison. So I think if we apply this to tax relief for the people, it'd be a good thing for the township. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Tassman?
Jane Tausman, 14 Butler Road. I also feel that the budget has gone up significantly with a lot of the raises that have been publicized lately, and that anything we can do to blunt that with tax relief should be done. And so I hope that's the way it will go, because we're living in terrible times right now financially. You can't go anywhere without being made very much aware of it. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Zimmerman.
Carl Zimmerman, Edison, New Jersey. I don't know if anybody's been reading the newspaper in the published notice. There's a lot of houses in there right now in foreclosure. They're having a sheriff's sale this week in Edison, tomorrow. Not only houses down this end of town on Prospect, but up on McKinley or whatever, off of Roxy. You know, all wages in this town should be on frozen, because the wages went up too high this year. way too high. We should rescind them back and put it on the voting. Because I'm having it rough right now. I'm not ashamed to say it. I work my ass off.
Easy, Carl.
It's not a bad word.
Rather they didn't say it.
But there's a lot of people in this room having it rough. Except for people making 6 figures. And years ago, not to change the subject, nothing against you, Denise Holloway, but something happened to my daughter in Key Latch when she was small. It was investigated.
Carl.
Wait, no. So I want to get it off my chest.
No, sir.
It was investigated, and the person denied it.
Carl.
And he still got a job here. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Well, yeah, Carl, we're dealing with the ordinance, or the amendment. Thank you. Or at least I thought we were. Ladies and gentlemen, anyone else would like to speak on this amendment that we're not going to deal with tonight? Okay, is there a motion to close the public portion? Do we have a second? All in favor? Aye. Okay. And,
Ending.
oh,
Ending. We ended
okay.
it. Right.
Yeah, right, close it for tonight. We're ending. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. All right, we're not going to do final adoption on the budget tonight. We're going to move on.
Council President?
Yes, sir?
But just as, just a point of information, as we talked about in the work session portion of this meeting, the next amendment up would be, since it was submitted to the council, the one that I brought forward. Okay, I just want to make sure.
I want to make sure that procedurally we're correct with that. Because what we're going to have is 2 amendments. We're going to have the amendment that we have here that we're not closing a public hearing on, okay? And then depending on what happens there, then because the 2 are linked. So it would be this one first and then yours, as I understand it.
Correct.
Correct. Okay. All right. Let's move on to 1670. Clerk, read by title, please.
An ordinance rezoning the former CIC site from LI to OSRC.
Make a motion to remove from the table.
Second.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Griffin Uzak.
Yes.
Councilmember Mascola.
Yes.
Councilmember Massaro.
Yes.
Councilmember Perelstein.
Yes.
Councilmember Sigliano.
Yes, to remove from table.
Council President Deal.
Yes. Okay, I'd like to open the public comment on 1670. Councilwoman, I'm sorry.
She was.
Once
She
upon a time,
was,
former
absolutely.
Councilwoman, former Councilwoman Jane Tausman.
Jane Tausman, 14 Butler Road, Edison. I'm very, very happy to see this particular ordinance being considered tonight. It's been a long, long road. I said this to the planning board. I would say it here again tonight. There were lots and lots of problems with this. The cleanup was carried out by the EPA at a great expense. And I truly hope that all of you will vote in favor of this. And I think that Bob Spiegel, who really spearheaded this cleanup, is to be greatly congratulated if it does pass, because he really made it all possible. And there were many, many other people who contributed as well. So I truly hope that you will vote for it. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Charles Tamaro, former councilman Charles